Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Cody here, Gotham's Cape Crusader, and we're keeping it geekly on this fantastic New Year's Day. And man, oh man, am I excited to be back after a week vacation. We took some Christmas time off with the family, and we are back stronger than ever. And we are here to bring you not only the latest and the greatest from comic books to video games and so much more, but also the freshest DC pulls off the press. So without further hesitation, let's go ahead and just dive right in and let's see what's buzzing in the geek culture. So first things first, it looks like South Korea wants Google and Apple to block play to earn games and anything requiring an NFT purchase to play. Now, with NFTs exploding across the internet like wildfire, we've seen a lot of game developers and publishers try to utilize them for use with their game, but they were met with an incredible amount of pushback. Publishers like Ubisoft and GSC Game World quickly found out just how fast their player base did not like the idea of NFTs being required for any sort of purchase. And now we're seeing some government officials taking action to better regulate the practice. Now, South Korea is going hard on this stance, with its game management committee recently requesting that it blocks any new play-to-earn releases, which requires a prior purchase of an NFT to play. Not only that, but they also moved to delist current and upcoming play-to-earn games by denying them an age rating, which is required on South Korean digital app storefronts. Now, it's important to note that the South Korean government concern surrounding these new gaming practices likely stems from their association with gambling and what they term speculative money-making schemes. Now, I'll be the first to admit I am not that well-versed with NFTs, so guys, do me a favor, leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on these practices and what you think they could potentially hold for the future. Now, on to our next piece of news. It looks like Pokemon Go just updated its loading screen, and it's hinting at brand new Pokemon in 2022. Now, with Pokemon Go's annual New Year's event underway, it looks like that's not the only thing ending 2021 for us. They just dropped a brand new loading screen earlier today, and it revealed some new Pokemon. Now, in the new loading screen, we see a Pokemon trainer sitting next to a Geralthi watching the fireworks going off in the background, but then that's when we're introduced to two brand new Pokemon hidden in the image itself. We see Pokemon Helioptile and Flabebe, both native to the Kalos region, which debuted in Pokemon X and Y. Now, with the new year right around the corner, it looks like Pokemon Go is swinging on all fronts to retain its player base. Let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon you're looking forward to the most seeing in this game come to life. With that being said, we're going to be moving on to our last piece of news. It looks like Sony is working on a brand new haptic feedback system for its controller, and it has the player in mind. So it looks like a brand new Sony patent hints that the hardware developer might be preparing to introduce haptic feedback into games not designed for the DualSense. Now, with the haptic feedback originally sold as one of the major selling points of the PS5 and its DualSense controllers, it promised to give the player a unique experience compared to other peripherals, but the major issue at hand is that this is rather dependent on whether or not the game developer gave any title around this kinetic play experience. Now, with this recent patent for Sony, this might indicate that hardware developers are looking to give a more personalized haptic feedback for players beyond the input of game developers. This is going to lead the way for massive amounts of games, including backwards compatible PS4 titles, interactive games on the PS5, and a whole slew of indie titles. So basically what this patent does is it looks at finding interactive tasks within the game and creating a haptic response based on what's happening and what the player is supposed to do. This new system will also determine the type of feedback based on the information within the player profile, which could be something as simple as a player's PS5 settings for haptic feedback or as complex as their previous playing experiences. Having played on a PS5 and a DualSense controller for over a year now, I can definitely tell you that haptic feedback system is phenomenal. And it's amazing when it works, and it has me wondering what this has in store for other titles, especially the backwards compatibility and the indie titles. This could be very groundbreaking in what this controller is capable of doing. That being said, guys, that does wrap up this Week in Geek. But stay tuned, we got those fresh posts coming right out the oven, and the first one we're starting with is Robin issue number 9, written by Joshua Williamson with art being done by Roger Cruz. Burn starts off with Robin confronting Mother Soul as the Lazarus demon is getting ready to merge with Hawk's body to make itself become indestructible. It's at this point we find out that Mother Soul is actually Ra's al Ghul's mother, and she intends to do what he was never able to, and that's to return the Earth to its original form. Now, we see Damien confront the Lazarus demon, and he goes up against it, but it proves to be far too strong as any physical contact with it quickly burns Damien, and it's becoming hotter than the hottest sun with each and every step that it takes. Now, when we see Damien is struck down for what appears to be good, he gets a vision from Pennyworth, And we see the second wind start to form within him as he's able to revisit what made Batman Batman. Rising up with brand new strength, we see Robin standing strong, and he asks the participants on the island for their combined effort to stop not only Mother Soul, but the Lazarus demon. But will it be enough to stop them both? Now, this run has proven to be more and more brutal with each and every page that I've read, and you definitely don't want to miss this one because Robin just goes all out, and it is insane to see everyone and their combined efforts take on these two. Now, with that being said, we're going to be moving on to our next issue of the week, which is going to be Teen Titans Academy issue number 10, written by Tim Sheridan with art being done by Mike Norton. Now, the book of Dane begins with a flashback 138 years ago in St. Michael's Mission in Sierra Lumbre, Arizona, with the birth of Dane transitioning into Nevermore. We quickly transition to Red X and Nevermore, traveling back in the past, witnessing Nevermore's entire timeline, and that is until they land in St. Michael's Mission back in the past. Before Red X is able to ask any questions at all, though, Nevermore demands to know some answers about what he did to Simon, and that is effectively ripping his head and spine from his body. Now, back at the tower, we see all the senior Titans discussing Red X murdering Simon, with Roy Harper trying to justify his actions while Donna Troy has other thoughts. Now, during this meeting, Cyborg is able to successfully get a message from Shazam, and it looks like he's confirming what Raven has said about the future. The apocalypse is indeed coming, and it's at the hands of Nevermore. We transition back to Nevermore and Red X, diving deeper into their past and their traumas, and where Red X exactly is coming from and why he murdered Simon the way he did. Now, as we dive in the Nevermore story, we find that his mother made a deal with the Dark Lord, effectively giving him his soul, and he's came to get what is rightfully his. And as we see the Hounds of Hell descend on them, Red X and Nevermore are going to have to fight for their lives, and this could be the start of the apocalypse that Raven has seen. Now, having kept up with Teen Titans Academy since its first issue, I have loved each and every twist and turn in this run, and it is getting insane. We are going to see some crazy things happening, and I don't know if DC is ready for the magnitude of what is to come. Now, with that being said, guys, we're going to be moving on to our last issue of the week, which is going to be a Batman Detective Comics issue 1046, written by Mariko Tamaki, with art being done by Dan Mora. Now, this issue begins downtown in Gotham City at the Prestige complex, in which Oracle is able to intercept an alarm sent out from them to a private security company instead of the Gotham City Police Department, which raised some suspicions. Now, we get a very brief glimpse of Anna Vol'jin, a serial killer that is let loose inside the complex, but that is short-lived as a series of explosions begin to litter debris onto the sidewalks, and before any civilians get hurt, we see Batman jump in to act. Now, in the basement of the complex, we see Anna track down yet again another kill, but she is quickly interrupted by Stephanie Brown, aka Batgirl. Now, we transition to the Huntress and Batgirl going over the recent events and Batman going to Venice, but their talk is quickly interrupted as Huntress is getting another vision of a rather violent crime, and it's happening now. Now, with Batman making his way to Venice, Huntress and Batgirl could be taking the helm for an issue or two. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Well, that wraps up today's podcast, guys. As always, you can catch me on all of my respective social media platforms at JobForCody. If you like today's podcast, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me throughout this last year, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year. With that being said, keep it geekly.